Greetings to everybody. We are going to understand Introduction to Literary Criticism and Theories. Black one, from Black one, Introduction to Literary Criticism. What is literary criticism or literary theory? Literary theory, also known as literary criticism or critical theory or literary studies, marks a 2.5 millennia attempt on the part of artists and critics like to define the exact nature, status, and social functions of the arts. It is the evaluation, analysis, interpretation, and discussion of literature. It involves examining and interpreting works of literature in order to understand, appreciate, and often evaluate their artistic, cultural, and intellectual significance. Literary criticism can take various forms, and critics may use different approaches and theories to explore and interpret literary texts. Modern literary criticism is often influenced by literary theory, which is philosophical discussion of literature's goals and methods. The purpose of literary criticism. The purpose of literary criticism can vary, but they often include understanding the text. Critics aims to comprehend the content, themes and narrative structure of a literary work. Interpreting meanings. Literary criticism seeks to interpret the meaning of a text and explore the underlying messages, symbolism, and metaphors employed by the author. Contextual analysis. Critics may consider the historical, cultural, social, and political context in which a work was written to better understand its significance. Evaluating aesthetic merit. Critics often assess the artistic qualities of a literary work, including its style, language use, and overall craftsmanship. Examining literary devices. Analysis of literary devices such as metaphor, symbolism, imagery, and characterization is a common aspect of literary criticism. Exploring themes and motifs. Critics may delve into the recurring themes, motifs, and patterns within a body of literature or within a particular work. Comparative analysis. Critics may compare a work of literature with other works either by the same author or within the same genre to gain insights into its uniqueness or commonalities. Literary criticism can be approached from various theoretical perspectives, including formalism, structuralism, psychoanalysis, feminism, Marxism, post-colonialism, and more. Critics may also engage in different types of criticism, such as biological criticism, historical criticism, reader response criticism, or deconstruction, depending on the emphasis and methodology they choose. Ultimately, literary criticism contributes to the ongoing dialogue about literature, offering diverse perspectives and enriching our understanding of literary works. The principles of literary criticism. Literary criticism involves the application of various principles and approaches to analyze and interpret literature. While there is not a single set of universally agreed upon principles, as literary criticism encompasses diverse theories and perspectives. There are several overarching principles that critics often consider. Here are some key principles of literary criticism. 1. Close reading. Examining the text closely and paying attention to details, language use, and literary devices. It involves a careful analysis of the text itself without necessarily referring to external sources. To textual evidence. Relying on specific examples and quotes from the text to support interpretations and arguments. Critics often use textual evidence to demonstrate how their analysis is grounded in the actual words of the literary work. 3. Contextual analysis. Considering the historical, cultural, social, and political context in which a work was written, understanding the context can provide insights into the author's intentions, the reception of the work, and its broader implications. 4. Authorial intent. Exploring the author's intentions and motivations in creating the work. Critics may consider the author's biography, letters, and other writings to shed light on the creative process and influences behind the literary work. 5. Form and structure. Analyzing the formal elements of a work, such as plot, structure, narrative techniques, and stylistic choices. The organization and structure of a text can significantly impact its meaning and impact. Thematic exploration. Identifying and exploring the central themes, motifs, and symbols within a literary work. Understanding the underlying ideas and messages contributes to a deeper appreciation of the text. Next one, reader response. Recognizing the role of the reader in interpreting and constructing meaning. Reader response criticism considers the subjective and personal responses of readers as integral to the overall interpretation of a text. Next one, literary devices. Examining the use of literary devices such as metaphor, symbolism, imagery, allegory, and irony. These devices contribute to the artistic and aesthetic qualities of a work. Comparative analysis. Comparing the work in question with the other literary works, either by the same author or within the same genre. Comparative analysis helps situate a work within a broader literary and cultural context. Critical theories. Drawing on various critical theories and approaches such as structuralism, feminism, psychoanalysis, post-colonialism, and deconstruction, these theories provide frameworks for understanding literature from different perspectives. These principles are not exhaustive, and different critics may prioritize certain principles over others based on their theoretical orientation and analytical goals. Additionally, the dynamic nature of literary criticism means that new approaches and principles may emerge over time. Functions of literary criticism. Literary criticism serves several functions, playing a crucial role in the interpretation, evaluation, and appreciation of literature. Here are some key functions of literary criticism. One is interpretation. Literary criticism helps readers understand and interpret the meaning of literary works. Critics analyze the content, themes, symbols, and language to uncover layers of meaning and provide insights into the author's intentions. 2. Evaluation. Critics assess the artistic and literary merit of a work. This evaluation involves considering the quality of writing, the effectiveness of literary devices, and the overall craftsmanship of the piece. 3. Enhancing appreciation. Literary criticism contributes to readers' appreciation of literature by offering different perspectives and insights. Critics help readers recognize the nuances, complexities, and depth within a work, enriching the overall reading experience. 4. Contextualization. Critics place literary works within their historical, cultural, social, and political contexts. Understanding the background against which a work was written enhances comprehension and provide a broader perspective on its significance. 5. Cultural critique. Literary criticism often involves a critique of cultural norms, values, and ideologies reflected in literature. Critics may explore how literature both reflects and shapes cultural attitudes and beliefs. Sixth, formal analysis. Critics analyze the formal elements of a literary work, including its structure, style, and use of literary devices. This formal analysis helps readers appreciate the aesthetic qualities of the text. 7. Identification of themes. Critics identify and explore the recurring themes and motifs present in literary works. This thematic analysis contributes to a deeper understanding of the ideas and messages conveyed by the author. 8. Reader engagement. Literary criticism recognizes the active role of readers in constructing meaning. Critics may explore how readers' responses and interpretations contribute to the overall understanding of a text. 9. Historical understanding. Critics contribute to historical understanding by examining how literature reflects and responds to historical events and cultural shifts. Literary works often serve as important historical artifacts. 10. Comparative analysis. Literary criticism involves comparing and contrasting different literary works, authors, and genres. Comparative analysis helps situate a work within a broader literary tradition and provides a basic for understanding its uniqueness. 11. Promoting dialogue. Literary criticism fosters ongoing dialogue and discussion about literature. Different critical perspectives and interpretations contribute to a dynamic and evolving understanding of literary works. 12. Educational tool. Literary criticism serves as an educational tool, helping students and scholars develop analytical and critical thinking skills. It encourages a thoughtful and reflective approach to reading and studying literature. These functions highlight the multifaceted nature of literary criticism, emphasizing its role in felicitating a deeper engagement with the literature and fostering a greater understanding of the cultural and artistic significance of literary works. Literary criticism versus literary theory. Literary criticism and literary theory are related fields of study in the broader discipline of literary studies, but they have distinct focuses and purposes. Literary criticism definition. Literary criticism involves the analysis, interpretation, and evaluation of individual literary works. Critics engage with the specific text, exploring their themes, characters, structures, and stylistic elements. In literary theory definition, literary theory, on the other hand, is a more abstract and overarching field that involves the study of the principles, concepts, and frameworks that underlie literature. It is concerned with understanding the nature of literature and the ways in which it is produced, received, and interpreted. Focus in literary criticism. Focus. The primary focus of literary criticism is on understanding and assessing the artistic and literary qualities of a particular work. Critics may examine how well the author achieves their artistic goals and may offer judgments about the work's quality. Focus in literary theory. Rather than focusing on individual works, literary theory explores general principles that can be applied across a range of texts. It seeks to understand the nature of literature, the role of the author and reader, and the relationship between literature and society. Methods in literary criticism. Critics use various methods such as close reading, historical analysis, and biographical context to interpret and evaluate a specific piece of literature. Methods in literary theory. Literary theory draws on various approaches including structuralism, psychoanalysis, feminism, Marxism, postcolonialism, and deconstruction, among others. These approaches provide theoretical lenses through which one can analyze literature more broadly. Goals in literary criticism. The goal of literary criticism is often to provide insights into a particular work, helping readers appreciate its nuances and understand its significance within a specific structural or historical context. Goal in literary theory. The goal of literary theory is often to develop conceptual frameworks that can be applied to multiple works, genres, or periods, offering a deeper understanding of literature as a cultural and intellectual phenomenon. In summary, literary criticism is more specific and focused on the analysis and evaluation of individual works, while literary theory is broader, dealing with the underlying principles and methods of literary study. Critics often draw on literary theory to inform their analysis, and both areas contribute to the broader field of literary studies. While Criticism is concerned with the specific merits of individual works. Theory aims to develop general principles and frameworks for understanding literature as a whole. Matthew Arnold's views on literary criticism. Matthew Arnold, 1822 to 1888, was a prominent Victorian poet, cultural critic, and essayist who made significant contributions to the field of literary criticism. His views on literary criticism are encapsulated in his essays, notably in The Functions of Criticism at the Present Time, 1864, and Culture and Anarchy, 1869. Function of criticism. Arnold argued that the primary function of literary criticism is to contribute to the overall well-being and progress of society. He believed that criticism should play a role in shaping the intellectual and moral climate of the time. He emphasized the importance of disinterestedness in criticism, suggesting that critics should approach their work with a sense of objectivity and impartiality. This, in his view, would prevent criticism from being clouded by personal biases. High culture versus Platonism. Arnold was concerned about what he perceived as a growing divide between the cultured elite, the best in society, and the masses, Philistines. He advocated for the cultivation of a high culture that would be accessible to all and would elevate society as a whole. He believed that literature and criticism would bridge this gap by providing a common ground for shared values and ideas. Critical spirit. The critical spirit. Arnold considered the critical spirit essential for both literature and society. This spirit involves a thoughtful and reflective engagement with the ideas and the values, fostering a discerning and intellectual approach to cultural matters. He argued that the critic should be someone with a comprehensive understanding of a best that has been thought and said in the world, guiding society toward intellectual and moral improvement. Culture as a unifying force. Arnold's concept of culture went beyond the arts and literature. He used it to describe a harmonious development of human faculties. He believed that culture could serve as a unifying force, providing a common ground for diverse individuals and communities. Literature and morality. Arnold believed in the moral function of literature. He thought that literature, especially poetry, could contribute to moral and spiritual development by presenting ideals and inspiring readers to strive for a higher, more refined way of life. The best that has been thought and said. Arnold famously advocated for the pursuit of the best that has been thought and said. He believed that literature as a repository of human wisdom and insight should be a guiding force in shaping cultural and intellectual values. Arnold's views on literary criticism and culture reflect His concerns about the impact of industrialization and social change on Victorian society. He saw literature and criticism as tools for cultivating a thoughtful and reflective society with the focus on the pursuit of intellectual and moral excellence. T.S. Eliot's views on literary criticism. T.S. Eliot, 1888 to 1965, an influential modernist poet, playwright, and literary critic, made significant contributions to the field of literary criticism. His views on literary criticism are expressed in essays, sketches, tradition, and the individual talent, which was published in 1919. The function of criticism, 1923, and the use of poetry and the use of criticism, 1933. Here are some key aspects of Eliot's views on literary criticism. Tradition and the individual talent. In this essay, Eliot introduced the the concept of the tradition as a crucial aspect of literary creation. He argued that the poet is not isolated but is rather a part of a literary tradition that extends over time. According to Eliot, the poet's work is influenced by and contributes to this literary tradition, and the poet should strive to embody the timeless elements of that tradition in their work. Objective correlative. Eliot emphasized the importance of the objective correlative, a concept suggesting that emotions and ideas should be expressed in a work of art through a set of specific external objects or events. This helps create a precise and evocative emotional response in the reader. Tradition and the present moment. Eliot believed that a writer's engagement with tradition is crucial for creating meaningful art. Tradition, for him, is not a static adherence to the past but a dynamic dialogue between the present and the past. The artist should be aware of and respond to the literary heritage while addressing the contemporary concerns of their time. Interpersonality in poetry. Eliot advocated for the idea of interpersonality in poetry. He suggested that poets should strive to depersonalize their work, separating their own emotions and experiences from the poetic voice. This, he believed, allows for a more universal and enduring expression. The dissociation of sensibility. Eliot discussed the concept of the dissociation of sensibility, arguing that there was a separation between thought and feeling in the poetry of the 17th century. He believed that this dissociation had negative effects on the development of poetic language and expression. Function of criticism. Eliot considered the function of criticism to be twofold: the elucidation of works of art for the general public and the correction of taste. Criticism, according to Eliot, should help readers better understand and appreciate works of art while also guiding them toward a more refined aesthetic sensibility. Unity of culture. Eliot was concerned with the unity of culture and believed that literature and criticism should play a role in integrating the various elements of culture, including religion, philosophy, and the arts, into a cohesive whole. T.S. Eliot's views on literary criticism reflect his deep engagement with tradition, his emphasis on the connection between past and present, and his concern for the role of art in the cultural and intellectual life of society. His ideas have had a lasting impact on the study of literature and continue to influence literary criticism today. Thank you for watching this video.